Welcome back to Financial Strategies with Andrew Adjemi in Connecticut and Daniel Adjemi in Colorado.
So our world is changing faster and faster all the time. And the way that you have to be prepared for that is changing as well. If we look at China, we look at their currency, the RMB, they have changed that to a fully digital currency. And they've done that so much in their experimental phase that if you go visit China, they will actually give you money so that you download their wallet and you start using their new payment rail. Why are they doing this? Well, it gives them a lot more power. One, they can see what the people in China are spending their money on.
Yeah.
Which gives them a lot more power. It gives them the power to tax people differently. So if they say this person deserves to earn a negative 10% rate of interest, either they have so much money or they're not following the rules we think that they should follow, we're going to give them a negative yield of this and take 5%, 10% for them. Whereas maybe a student, they say, we are going to give you a 5% interest rate. And with these digital currencies that all the central banks around the world are racing to try to get, that gives them the power to decide who they will give positive rates and negative rates to. These are things that are happening extremely fast. Think about Amazon, right? Amazon snuck up. You could see it happening, but if you were not planning ahead and you were Sears, you lost everything. They're bankrupt. They're gone. No one goes to Sears and buys things. Amazon took over, and people who were not paying attention in that organization lost it all. I'm Daniel Adjemi.
And I'm Andrew Adjemi. You're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. Today's topic is the guaranteed way to lose money. Wow, Daniel, I don't want to be Sears being snuck up on by Amazon. So I guess you got to be thinking ahead, right? Change happens, right? Change is one of the three things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and change. The question is, how are things going to change, and how are you going to stay up with the change? So what's the best way to stay up with the change?
Well, you need to look ahead and see the changes that are happening, both between technologies, right? The internet disrupted the world, and Amazon was built upon that. So the people who built the internet gave Amazon this rail so that they could basically serve anyone, right?
Yeah, right.
And the internet has disrupted everything. Well, it's disrupted everything except basically one area: money.
Okay.
You still have to wait 3 days, 2 days for your stocks to clear, right?
Right.
You have to wait 10 days for a check to clear. If you want to get money from one country to another, you're faster buying a plane ticket, taking some gold and flying over there, right? So it has not disrupted finance yet, but this is starting to change. Corona sped it up, the whole virus, because they wanted to issue digital currencies, a Fed coin, so that they could get the stimulus payments out faster and get it to the people who actually need it. And now Janet Yellen, the new Treasury Secretary, is planning towards fixing this poverty gap and helping people who need money get money. Well, how do you do that? You do that with a digital currency, but then that gives power, right, to the government to decide who they're going to give negative rates to, who they're going to give positive rates, who they're going to take money from because they didn't like something that they do or say. Now, this might sound Orwellian, right? But what we're talking about is thinking the 7 steps ahead. So how you can benefit from the change. If you shorted Sears and bought Amazon, you would have done really good. How can you benefit from this when we can start seeing these changes? This is not like a crazy idea. Central banks like the Federal Reserve, the Swiss bank, they are all racing towards this to try to catch up with China.
Right. Right. And Daniel, I just love the passion that you have, in regard to these things when you're talking about these things, and the knowledge base that you afford us, that, it works really well with you in the back office there of Adjemi Financial, making sure that these things are going ahead, and me in the front office, making sure that this is being communicated to our clients to make sure that people are able to move ahead and stay up with inflation, taxation, not not losing their money through the guaranteed method of the bank, being able to invest in tax-free alternatives for them and paying taxes at a discounted rate and making sure that their family is going to be taken care of when it's time, when they're done in this life with through the paperwork and through the everything that's needed to be able to make sure that things get passed from one generation to another generation properly. So I want to let you know, in our listening audience, you're listening to Andrew Daniel Adjemi on financial strategies. And today's topic is a guaranteed way to lose money. We have for you in our listening audience a companion piece to today's show called The 7 Risks to Your Retirement. The 7 Risks to Your Retirement. We like helping people in and close to retirement. And there are some things that approach people in retirement. You've never been here before, but we have. We help people retire and stay retired every day. And so we'd like to put this piece in your hands, the 7 risks to your retirement, so you can educate yourself to be able to make smart financial decisions as you get as you approach and go in retirement. Daniel, when we're talking, you can have that paper by calling 800-725-7616. 800-725-7616. Daniel, what else? We're getting ready to wrap up this show. We only have a few minutes left in the show, and we've been talking about how the guaranteed way for people to lose money. And typically people are and what that is the bank. People put their money in the bank. They lose purchasing power through interest rates. And then they think, well, the only other place I have to put money is in the stock market. And so the stock market has been going up, but is that really the only other place they have?
Well, there's a couple of different ways that you could participate in some of these opportunities that are presenting themselves. Like I said, if you had invested in Amazon and got out of Sears, that would have been fantastic, right? Most people did not do that because Amazon had 2 75% corrections, and so there's not a lot of multi-millionaires from Amazon. There's Jeff Bezos, but there's not a lot because it was a difficult thing to see. Whereas like Tesla was a little bit easier for people to see. And there's a lot of millionaires from Tesla. So what are some of the opportunities? Well,
Daniel, let me just say that. One of the reasons why people haven't done that too is because so many times they're just following the crowd and they're just investing in mutual funds. They have maybe financial advisors or financial people that are just doing the same old, or they're doing it themselves and they're just going to what's available as opposed to doing things that are different than what other people are doing.
Right. The disease of ease, right?
Right.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that analysis on the actual balance sheets and how the world is changing. You're just saying, let me buy a fund and we'll be okay.
Right.
So
go ahead.
So think about it like this. If you own assets, right? If you own a building, if you own houses, and you can get a 2% loan on that. We talked about CPI is 2%. The Fed is trying to get it to at least 2%. But we talked about is really a lot higher than that with this money creation. That means you're getting that loan for free. It's not costing you anything. And if you can invest that money into some of the kinds of things we were talking about today, you're earning on the asset and you're earning that retirement income that you need so you can spend the money without spending down your savings.
Yeah.
That also allows you to pass on more money to the people you love, whether that be charities, whether that be your family, provide educations for impoverished people, whatever that is, that opens up the door of opportunity and all these different kinds of things. And I've seen people, we do that ourselves, but I've seen people do that and they're thrilled. They look back after a few years and they see how their wealth is just compounded. And this is what the rich do, right? The ultra rich, the Elon Musks of the world. But this is what we're trying to help folks understand so that they can be 7 steps ahead of what the Fed is doing, how the world is changing, and they can participate in it the way that we see the ultra rich doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. So what I hear you saying then is that, besides the bank, besides the stock market, people have the alternatives of investing in number one, investing in different items like bonds and life insurance, some safe annuities, some preferreds, some alternative investments, Bitcoin, all these different things to be able to help them to stay ahead of inflation, ahead of taxation. But also it's not just what you invest in, it's how you invest. It's the strategies behind that and who's helping you with that. A professional that has years of experience in being 7 steps ahead, or just a big name company that they're hiring some people out of college, and these people are getting some initials after their names and that kind of thing, but they're just doing everything the same old, and they're doing things retrospectively as opposed to in advance of what's happening. So that's
it's about
great.
those strategies. It's about those strategies, because all of those things that you just mentioned have had poor years and they've had fantastic years, but it's about the strategies on how you use them so you can have non-correlated returns with other things going on, and you can protect your wealth while growing it. It's about the strategies.
Exactly. Beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself, Daniel. Thank you. And for you and our listening audience, I want to let you know, as we have to wrap up today, you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. And today's topic has been the guaranteed way to lose money, And a lot of people think that interest rates are going to rise, but, only thing that rose again was Jesus. And I don't think we're going to be seeing interest rising so high going into the future here, but that's maybe another show. But we have this piece that we'd like to put in your hands, 7 risks to your retirement. And to the next 5 callers, the book, The Most Important Thing by Howard Marks. And you can have those by calling 800-725-7616, 800-725-7616. When Megan picks up, say, "Hi, Megan, I'd like the book," or "I'd like the white paper or the commission piece," and she'll be glad to get those out to you. 800-725-7616. And until next week, have a great time.